Welcome back to Pure Intentions. It's your girl Precious, aka Pretty P. I haven't dropped a video in it's been probably a month now. I definitely wanted to come here today because I had a few things to talk about. I know what things that's going on with me personally in my life, how I view things. So lately in that month, what I've been doing, Christmas came up. I was sick, couldn't get out the bed. I was sick, couldn't get out the bed. New Year's came. I showed everything but my ass on New Year's. Let me just say that. And I say that to say this. 2024, I feel like I did like a lot of, not being serious and buckling down. In 2025, I hate to make New Year's resolutions, but hey, this is my New Year's resolution and what I want to do. So for 2025, I do want to cut back on, first, smoking vapes. These things got me hooked. That would be one of the most things I would say cut back on it. I wouldn't say completely stop, but I would say try not to have one. But I be having the urge to hit a vape. I'm sorry. I gotta give me a geek bar. But another thing of mine is to cut back on my drinking. Again, I showed everything but my ass on New Year's. But we're not gonna get into that. And I will also say, buckle down in what I aspire to do. What my goals are and what I could see myself doing. I'm really tired of working for people. I want to be able to make my own schedule, and I want people to work for me. I want people to be hitting me up to do an interview for a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for sitting here, feeling like I have to work for somebody and follow by their rules. I want to be myself and do what I like to do and do what interests me. Not feeling like I have to do something because this is what I have to do for the rest of my life to pay my bills. So that's another thing that I want to work on too. In 2025, I do wish and pray for wealth upon myself and the people around me, the people that I love. But hey, I'm not in a rush. When that wealth comes in and I ain't got to work no more, that's when it comes in. But I'm always aiming for that. That's the number one thing. But yes, I came here today to talk about, so that gets me into my topic, to what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about being inspired. I feel like it's okay to be inspired by the things that you see. Seeing TikTokers get on TikTok and dance and wanting to dance, get on YouTube and see YouTubers do YouTube and just seeing their life and, loving that because that's something that you want to do. That's actually you. Seeing a hairstylist do hair and say, hey, I want to do hair. I think it's okay to be inspired. I feel like if you had no inspiration, then you would kind of be like a person who, you would have to figure yourself out. I feel like it's okay to have inspiration to see something and say, hey, I like that and I want to do that. I just don't feel that as if you see inspiration and you feel like, oh, if I don't have that in a week, then I quit on my goals of inspiration. And that's where a lot of stuff is coming in at, as far as like me doing my podcast. I got my first 30 views on my first video for my podcast. No, it's not 100,000 views. No, it's not 120 views. No, it's not 520 views. But it's 30 views. It's more than one. So I want to congratulate myself there with getting 30 views. I think that's pretty good. As my first video, but I do plan on doing this more and more. And I personally, I was inspired by a podcast. I've always watched podcasts, even at my job. Sometimes on my downtime and stuff like that, I'll watch a podcast because I like what they're talking about. This is some stuff that I can relate to. Sometimes they give me information that I didn't necessarily know, or sometimes they tell me stuff about myself that I didn't necessarily know about myself. So there's nothing wrong with inspiration. So don't let people think because you're inspired by someone that you're trying to be like them. A lot of people share the same interests. Little do you know, a lot of people share the same interests. So I would say that there, but you can always identify if somebody's completely trying to copy you. I mean, I feel like that. I mean, especially if it's somebody that you know. I mean, you can't say somebody who's from, I'm in Las Vegas right now. So I can't say somebody who's from on the whole other side of the country, for instance, who's in North Carolina is copying me when I don't know anybody from North Carolina to say that, oh, I started the podcast, she seen my podcast, now she want to do a podcast. I couldn't say that because I don't know anybody from North Carolina to say that this girl is copying me. I can say this girl probably seen my, or man or whoever, have seen my YouTube video on YouTube and was inspired. You know, they might be a person that likes to talk, you know, or, you know, a person who likes to just put their views on how they see something out there. So I do want to say that about inspiration. Now, as far as, you know, being on social media and seeing people like influencers, YouTubers, podcasters, TikTokers, or it's a bunch of stuff out there that people are doing these days. People who have their own business and stuff like that. You know, to see people out there and to say, I want to do that, and then doubt yourself because you're not in the position that they're in. You know, because you necessarily don't know how that person got there or what blood, sweat, and tears they have to put in to get where they are, you know? So me, that goes back to my 30 followers, you know? I'm just coming up in this. I'm going to take my time. I'm not rushing it. You know, what's meant for me is meant for me, and what's not meant for me is not meant for me. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm just going to like give up. I mean, I can always find, this might be one thing that I'm interested in. I might find something else that I'm interested in, going to that, and I might be successful at the other thing that I'm interested in. So I do want to say that, but I also want to say being inspired by someone on social media is totally okay. Now, seeing someone on social media and feeling like you're not accomplished because you don't have what this person has, or you're not doing what this person is doing, is different. Like with me being 27 right now, I would say sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm 27. I'm about to be 28. And I just been like, what did I do with my life? Not necessarily, I'm saying I'm looking at somebody else's life and trying to compare my life to theirs. But sometimes I do ask myself, like, at 27, I wish I could go back at like 21 and not necessarily start a podcast. At 21, I was doing hair. I really like to do hair. That was a thing that I really, really liked it. But when I look back, for me being 27 and look back, I do say to myself, like, what was I doing? Like, why am I just now wanting to get serious about life now? And not necessarily because of what I've seen other people have or anything like that. Again, I want to find myself in something that I like to do, because I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to have to, I mean, no matter whatever I do, I know I'm going to have to work. But I like to work on my own time. I like to be myself, you know? And not necessarily that. I would say, for one, I like to be myself. I don't want to work on other people's time. I don't want to have to be on edge if, you know, if I say the wrong thing or if I do the wrong thing, it's a possibility I might lose my job. Like, you know, things like that. But with these days, you say certain things, people are ready to go to World War III with you. But on this podcast, I'm definitely entitled to my own opinions. There's nothing wrong there at all. So that's definitely what I would say about myself is, at my age now, I do sit back and think like, damn, what did I do? Like, or not necessarily what did I do, because now that I'm 27, I need to stop thinking because I'm 27, and also me too as well. And I'm just like, at not necessarily what I see on social media, but me being 27, I do feel like I should be in a better position. Not saying I'm in a horrible position, but I do definitely feel like I should have done something with myself, whether that was when I graduated high school, I should have went straight to college. I didn't. I took 2 years off. I found that I wanted to do hair. hair was my thing. I even like went to a school to get ready to sign up. I think I got a little discouraged about, I just started thinking about a lot of things. As far as like, what if I put my all into doing hair and I don't have clients, or, you know, things like that. So I feel like sometimes you can, you know, scare yourself a little bit. I don't know about other people, but I scare myself a little bit, or I don't want to say scare myself. I talk myself out of things. Things that are for me, I talk myself out of them. I'm like, I don't really want to do it because I'm going to have to find clientele. What if people don't like the way I do hair? And what if this, what if that? That was who I was at 20 and 21. Just always thinking about what ifs. So I did talk myself out of a lot of opportunities for myself because of me talking myself out of things, me second guessing myself, not having any confidence in myself. So with that being said, that just goes back to me to say this is, just because you see someone who, you know, necessarily does hair and they're a multi-millionaire now, like Arrogant Tay, for instance, a multi-millionaire. I remember Arrogant Tay when I was 18 and he was doing Ari hair and only Ari hair, you know? So I just feel like whatever's for you, don't try to talk yourself out of it. That will be the first thing I would say. Never try to talk yourself out of it. If it's something that you want to do, just put your mind to it and do it. And later on, after you do it, if you find out if it's not something that's for you, then find something else to get into. And maybe have that on the back burner, but, you know, still keep it there just in case you do want to go back to it. I would definitely say that. But don't feel like because, you know, it didn't happen overnight that it's just never going to happen. Maybe if I would have stuck to doing hair at 20, and stuck to it, went to school, went to Paul Mitchell, because I went up there and was talking to the lady about everything and what it would cost. If I would have just stuck to it, I probably could be an Arrogant Tay right now. You know, I don't want to put too much, you know, confidence. I mean, no, I'm going to always put confidence in myself, but I don't want to, you know, say I was that good at hair, but I was pretty decent at it. So I would just say that you never know. Like, and I might have talked myself out of something that was meant for me, the path that God had for me, or, you know, the path that was for me. I might have talked myself out of millions of dollars, all because I was talking to my self-conscious and just thinking of all the things that can go wrong instead of thinking about the good things. Like, I'm doing something that I love. I love to do hair. I love to do different styles. I love when people see styles on me and they're like, oh, hey, I like that. You know, the creativity of doing hair. I should have just thought about all the positive things. I really did think about all the things that could go wrong. And that's where a lot of people mess up, is they, again, talk themselves out of it. So what I would say about that, if you have something that you want to do, stick to it. Even if you are talking yourself out of it, think about all the good things of it. Something that you love to do. It's something that you love to do. The bad things. Let's not even think about the bad things. Let the bad things, if there's anything that's bad going to happen, just let it happen as it comes, as you're doing good and doing what you love to do. And handle it then. That's what I would say about that situation for sure. Yeah, so, but yeah, that just goes back to, I do want to go ahead and go back into another topic, in regards to your purpose or your path. So this brings me back to the topic of your purpose. So again, like, you know, me talking myself out of something that I love to do, that could have been my purpose or my path that was made specifically for me. And I overthought myself out of that. So I would just say this: if it's something that you love to do, and if it's something that you love to do in general and you thought about doing it, do it. That may be your purpose. That may be your great break to where you don't ever have to work for anybody else again. You can work for yourself. I'm not saying that you may not want to be a millionaire. You may just, want to do what you love to do. But I think everybody loves a little money. Who don't? If you say you don't, you're lying. So I know it may be a little off topic though too, but you are always going to have those people in your ear telling you, there may be some people who support you. So my next topic is about being a supporter, my next topic will be about having a support system, having good friends and good family, good vibes around you who support your goals and your accomplishments and who want to see you do good. Being surrounded by those type of people. In my situation, I wish I would have had more support. I couldn't say I didn't have any support, because I definitely had support. My mother, my grandma, my friends. I feel like straight out of high school, my friends, high school friends, they definitely supported me. So I wouldn't even say that they didn't support me. I would be lying if I didn't say if I had a support system, because a lot of people, even like the people that I work with, the older ladies that I work with, and even people that I work with who are my age, and not even about age, even the people who I worked with, they supported me as well. Like, it came to a point where a lot of people were asking me to make them wigs, and I was getting paid literally like $120, $130 for wigs, literally. And my mom and my grandma, they just felt like they should get free wigs. Even my friends, high school friends, just felt like they should get free hairdos because they're my friends and family. Like, you gonna have to pay that price, sweetie. No, I never made my grandma pay, but I did have a support system. I could definitely say that. I think when I moved to Las Vegas, I just stopped doing hair a little bit. Not only that, my money was a little tight, so I didn't have money to just be buying bundles. Like, when I was buying these bundles, it was like the people who were asking me to make them wigs were like people who wanted natural length hair. So I wasn't spending a grip of money on these bundles. Like, I would spend like, maybe if I would do like a 12-inch, I would spend maybe like $130, depending on how many bundles I get and if I got a closure or not. So I would spend like $130 on a bundle, and then the closure would be like $65 or something. But that was because they were the shorter lengths. But anyways, when I moved back to Las Vegas, when I moved back to Las Vegas, money was a little tight. I didn't have as much support here in Las Vegas as I did in Missouri. I didn't really deal with a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, maybe because I didn't really put myself out there like that, like I did in Missouri, because literally every week I would literally have a different hairstyle. No matter what anybody said, like every week my hair was always different. Like, you wouldn't see Precious and she didn't have a different hairstyle. Like, I would have a different hairstyle. Like, I'll take one sew-in down, next I got a ponytail, I got 2 braids. I always had something. Like, it was always something going on with my hair. Like, it was always, one time I had like 2 puff balls, and I don't know, with my natural hair, and it was always something. Like, no matter what, like, I was always did the fuck up. But yeah, so money got a little tight, so I just felt like I had a lot of support there too. And when I came here, it could be because I was getting a little older too, and maneuvering, moving, and not really in the house. Because when I lived in Missouri, I was really in the house a lot. Like, yeah, I went out with my friends here and there. We kicked it a lot, but most of all, I was just working and home for real. I mean, I would kick it, but I feel like when I moved to Vegas, like, I was out not every night, but more often than I normally would be if I was in Columbia. If I was in Missouri, like, I felt like that. But I mean, I don't know. It could have been because my money was tight though too. But yeah, this goes back to having good friends, good support system. So a lot of people too, like I've noticed too, like the support system sometimes can discourage you. For instance, I'm just gonna use my example. For instance, I was talking about getting an SUV. Remind you, I don't have any kids, so I was talking about getting an SUV. And I'm telling my cousin, I'm like, yeah, I want to get an SUV, and she like, what you want to get an SUV for? You ain't got no kids. Remind you, she got 4 kids, and I just looked at her like, okay, what do that have to do with anything? If I want to get an SUV and I got 15 kids, and I don't want to get a van, I want to get an SUV. Why the fuck I can't get an SUV? And I just feel like, and you may be like, how is this? So I just want to let you know, like, I just feel like that's not like a support system. Like, if I say like, oh, I want to get this car, you like, girl, I feel like somebody would be like, oh yeah, girl, when you gonna get that car? You got some money or something? Like, you know, like I would have felt better if she would have said that. Like, but to say you ain't got no kids, you don't need that car, is like weird. And sometimes you have to watch out for people who say little things like that. And family or not, I don't give a fuck, she did this, but I just felt like that was weird to say. Like, it don't matter if I wanted to get a van, even though I wouldn't drive a minivan, no matter what. But even if I wanted to get a van because I liked them because whatever the case may be, I like the radio system in them. I like the way that their seats do certain things that other seats can't do. Then that's what I want to get. I don't need nobody telling me what I can or can't get because of what I don't have. Like, I would have felt better if you would be like, oh, you ain't got no money to afford that or something. I probably would have still looked at her a little sideways too, but I don't know. It was just the response. I just didn't like her response to say, you don't have no kids, you don't need that car. Like, how are you going to tell me what it's not necessarily that I need the car, because I have a car, but I want that car. If I could choose a car that I can buy right now today, it would be that car. I just felt like it was just like, you don't need that car. Like, I don't need anything. I don't need a lot of things. But for you to tell me that I don't need something is like crazy to me. Because of a scenario is that was, I don't know, it just kind of made me like, it just kind of turned my face up a little bit. But that just goes back to being, and some people might think that that's being a good friend. Like, you don't know what, first of all, my cousin don't know what my pockets look like. She don't know what money I got. She don't know nothing. She don't know what money I got in my pockets, what I got in my bank account or anything. So for you to say that, it was just weird. Like, even though she didn't say I didn't have money for it, but for her to say that made it seem like, oh, but because I don't have no kids, I don't need the car, but because you have kids, you need the car. Like, what the fuck, I'm supposed to buy the car and give it to you? Like, I was just confused by why that was said. But this just goes back to having a good support system. I just feel like you got to find people who really support you. You got to find people who see what you want to accomplish and see what goals you're setting for yourself to say, I believe you. I think you can do it. Even for instance, for my cousin, she could have just been like, oh girl, I believe you. You can get that car. She could have just said that. So this just goes to say that when you speak, sometimes you really can't even share your goals with certain people either. Like, you share your goals with people will literally sometimes steal your goal, like steal your ideas, steal your goals or anything, and say they've been thinking about doing that. But why, when we had the conversation, you never brought that up, that you wanted to do that? Anyways, like, I just feel like it's a lot of people out there like that too. So you have to be aware of who you share your thoughts, your ideas with, your goals with. Because there are some people who are here in the world to make you feel discouraged or make you feel like you can't do it or don't believe you can do it because they think it's for them, you know? And that's what I would say about that. And I just also would say too, I hate a person when you tell them their goals and they're like, you don't like to do that. Are you in my body? Do you know what I like to do? Like, are you in my mind? Like, are you a mind reader? How do you know what I like and what I don't like to do? Like, stuff like that just be irritating me. I can see if somebody's like, you know, like your family member, they know you, they know what you like. To say that, I get that. But for me to tell you that this is something I want to do, and for you to say that is just, it's mind boggling. Because it's just like, if I told you that and this is something I wanted to do, then that's how you know I want to do it. Don't try to talk me out of it or make it feel like it's not something I want to do because you've never seen me do it, or you think since you've never seen me do it, I'm not into what I said I wanted to do, or what my goals were. I could wake up tomorrow and say, I want to be a nail tech. Ain't never did nails a day in my life. But I woke up and seen somebody doing nails and I was inspired by it, and I'm like, I want to try it out. I'm going to go try it out. I don't need somebody to tell me, you don't even like doing that. How do you know what I don't even know if I like doing it because I've never done it. So that just goes back to say that you have to watch what you tell people, because some people will try to most definitely talk you out of doing things. And it sometimes don't be yourself. And then sometimes you think that you can do it, then somebody talks you out of it and you're like, yeah, you're right. So then you start second guessing yourself. But anyways, you just woke up that morning and said you wanted to try something different. And you wanted to try it. It's nothing wrong with wanting to experience new experiences and wanting to see if this experience is something that you might like. Because what if I just go do nails tomorrow and I love it? It just comes to me naturally, and I'm just amazing at it. So I definitely feel like watch out for those type of people. And I feel like if you watch out for those type of people, then I feel like you should be good in life. Not everybody is going to agree with the things that you want to do. You have to be the person to say, this is what I want to do, and stick to what you want to do. Just stick to it. It's what you want to do. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. And I just want to say this to say, even with me starting the podcast, I'm here by myself, and I'm doing a podcast by myself, and I'm still learning everything and how to get into it. And I haven't found my comfort zone. Do I want to find my comfort zone in podcasting? Yes. Do I think that I would ever find my comfort zone in podcasting? Maybe. But this is my second video, and I'm not super comfortable. Like, I'm not just super comfortable to where I just feel like, oh, I got it in the bag. Like, no, I'm definitely not like that. I don't know. Even if it may be coming off as if I am. It's not that. I'm still having some second guesses on myself about it. Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? But would I let somebody else see it? You may not see it right now. You might think that I'm just I'm an expert at it. Looks can be deceiving. Okay? But I do just want to say that. But that is all I have for today. I do want to try doing at least 2 videos a week. I think 2 videos a week would be fair. I have some legit things that I want to come on here and talk about. I don't want to come in here and just sit here and just look at y'all. If that was the case, I wouldn't be posting on YouTube. But I definitely want to come here and have some things to talk about. That's all I have for today. It's your girl Pretty P. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button to Pure Ententions. That's INTENSION. Pure Ententions. Make sure you get it right. Spell it right. So when you search me up, you can see me, Pretty P. And I'm going to have that Pure Ententions logo so you can see it. But y'all have a good one.